Good morning, guys. Well, the holiday season is over, and I hope all of you had a wonderful Christmas and a very happy New Year. Hope you have a happy New Year to come. The purpose of this little video today is to talk about injury prevention and also to kind of go into what happened in 2018. I never really went into any kind of detail about that. You know, got off the trail and made that one little video explaining why I was getting off, but I never really told you guys what happened. So quickly, Blackbeard and Ghost and myself were walking into Harper's Ferry. I think we were maybe 10 miles out, and we're just walking along, and as silly as it sounds, I basically tripped. I stepped down on a stick, and it kind of caused the stick to pick up in the air just a little bit. And basically, my follow-through foot caught the stick, and it kind of kicked it out, which caused me to stumble and come down pretty hard on that leg. You know, as crazy as that sounds, that happens a lot. I mean, you would be surprised. I've watched other people do it, and I had done it, 20 times myself before this particular time. But when I came down after the stumble, I knew that I had done something. And it's like, oh man, that did not feel good. So, but I kept walking and had full strength in my leg. There was, I wasn't having to even be ginger on it. I was able to put full weight and walk basically normally. It's just every step you feel like a little pinch. So, we go on into Harper's Ferry, and I can already tell my mood has changed and everything. I mean, I'm like getting grumpy, and I just knew something was wrong. And I'm thinking to myself, I need to stay in Harper's Ferry for a day or two and let this kind of rest. And, we did zero that time, but we spent the entire day walking around Harper's Ferry. There wasn't no hotel rest. There wasn't no knee up in the air and icing it or anything like that. So basically, I did everything wrong and got back out on the trail the following day, and things just kind of progressively went downhill. Every day got a little bit worse. I can't remember how many more days. I know we walked about 100 more miles before we got to Boiling Springs, and right before Boiling Springs is when I basically had to get off the trail. Called a shuttle driver, and he took me into Duncannon, where I sat at the Doyle for I think 5 days, waiting to see if that leg would, or if that knee would feel better. Because by the time I had got the shuttle ride and got to Duncannon, I could no longer even put weight on the leg. I mean, it was completely useless. And it felt like I had completely sprained my knee. The knee was loose. It felt kind of gross, actually. But I'm gonna switch hands here. Can you really call it a sprain when you walked 100 miles on it and it's I mean, it's more like an overuse injury, but there was a cause in the beginning as well. So I really don't know exactly what went wrong, what I was suffering from. You know, was it bursitis? I've looked into everything, guys, really, and can't quite figure it out. So anyway, got back home after the 5 days in Duncannon and got a appointment to see a physical therapist and or an orthopedic physician first. And they went in and he examined my knee, and he's like, there's no instability there, which it was very unstable while I was in Duncannon. I mean, I could tell it just felt like nothing was attached. But he said there's stability in the leg, and so he really couldn't order an MRI. He basically said it was just a minor sprain. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know if that jives with me or not. I suppose, but in the same breath, it feels more like an overworked type injury. Like I hurt it a little bit and kept going, and it just got worse and worse rather than, a sprain, because a sprain, I would think, would take you off immediately. Like you would sprain the knee and you couldn't stand up on it. To the point where I was in Duncannon. If I had that little use of my leg in Duncannon, that didn't just come overnight. That didn't come in one single instance. I don't even know if I'm making much sense here. I think I'm kind of babbling, but hope you get the point. So anyway, that's kind of what happened. But by the time I had got back home after the 5 days in Duncannon and a couple more days at the house, I was actually up and walking. I didn't have to have any kind of assistance anymore, which, kind of made me wish I would have stayed in Duncannon a couple more days. But I also know that had I gone back out on the trail right after I got where I could walk, I probably just would have re-hurt it. It just would have got hurt again, and it would have been a waste of time. So there's that. Now, what am I going to do about that this year, I guess is the question. And honestly, I really don't know what to do other than what I did last year. Halfway train up walking around this trail. I think this trail is really good for kind of mimicking the AT as far as the stresses that it puts on your ligaments. There's a lot of hill climbs and roots and things to trip over, and it just reminds me a lot of the AT. So come out here, walk. I think since September, I've walked about 110 miles out here. So I've got some miles now. Everything's limbered up, loosened up. Stretching. I was pretty diligent about stretching in the mornings in 2018, but I think I need to do, in fact, I know I need to do more. I need to be stretching at night, and I need to be stretching throughout the day. So I'm going to be doing a lot of that. Like, my new trail name is going to be Stretch Armstrong. I'm going to be stretching all the time, and hopefully that will help. Another thing I didn't tell you guys, but the knee brace that I had in 2018, it was an old brace. I'd actually bought it in 2012 when I hurt my knee on the John Muir Trail and had used it ever since. Well, that brace has metal hinges that run down, the inner knee and the outer knee. It's kind of like a football knee brace. Well, those hinges wore through the fabric. I guess those things only last so long, and it started irritating the inside of my leg, so I stopped wearing it. And that very well could have played a big role in me having that injury. When I stepped down had that knee brace been on, man, it may have not hurt me at all. I like to think that anyway, because I have 2 really good knee braces now, and they're new and they should last the whole trail, and I plan on wearing them every day, all the time. So, you know, between the stretching, between the braces, and between the idea that this year I'm going to be using 0 days like currency, I'm just not going to take them until I absolutely have to, and that means if I get hurt. I'm going to plan on making all of my town stops just Nero days, and that way I will be that much further ahead. So in case something like this does happen and I need to get off trail for 2, 3, 4 days to allow an injury to heal up, you know, I'll still be on time. Hey guys, sorry we got cut off there. But anyways, talking about zeros, so yeah, as few as possible, and that way, if I tweak something, if I feel like I've hurt something a little bit, I can run for town, get off it, let it heal up, and get back on the trail. That is the plan. So that's gonna just about do it. Guys, I really appreciate all the well wishes and man, all the nice comments and everything. You know, I feel like I've kind of rushed those gear videos a little bit, trying to get them out. Wish I would have spent a little more time on them, been a little more thoughtful. But I hope you enjoyed those, and I promise you, once we get out on the trail, I'll be kind of doing gear review as I go along. We'll talk about, you know, all kinds of gear stuff out there. I'll let you know how that new sleeping bag's working out. You know, one thing, I've been kind of watching the weather, and it looks like February might get cold. So I'm really glad I went ahead and got that sleeping bag. You know, I've been sitting there kind of kicking myself through January. It's been so warm, and been kind of kicking myself thinking, man, that quilt would have been plenty for this weather. But it does look like the end of this month and a good deal of February, man, it is going to be cold. So yeah, man, we'll be ready for it though. All right, well, that's gonna just about do it. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, wonderful week, and a wonderful new year. And I will talk to you again soon. Man, you guys didn't think I would bring you out here and not show you the lake today, did you? Because I just would not do that. It's kind of chilly out here today. Got here, it was 36, and it's supposed to get really cold tonight. I think they're calling for like 21. So coming out here in the morning is going to be even colder, but it'll be fine. Gives me a chance to test gear out, so that's good. But yeah, man, the lake is just beautiful today. All right, well, got about 1 more mile, and today will be over. I think tomorrow I'm going to try to do 10, and because I have more time today, I got stuff to do tomorrow. It's just going to be a lazy day, so coming out here and doing 10 miles will be nice, especially in 21-degree weather. All right, well, again, guys, I appreciate it very much, and I will definitely be seeing you soon.